you really shouldn't have a VSL or post any content until you understand this very simple concept that I call micro VSL strategy. If you're new here, I run a consulting firm that has helped online businesses go from 0 to 20K and even beyond $1 million a month. Let's think about this as being your offer, this big circle. Now, when it comes to online businesses, there's 4 big buckets in the online space. Either you help people make more money, you help them with their health, you help them with relationships, or you help them with self-improvement, or some combinations of either one of these. For example, if we take money in this scenario, maybe you are a trader and like an FX trader or investor. In health, obviously you got fitness. In relationships, you can do, like for example, I had a client that did marriages and they help people with their marriage. Self-improvement, that's self-explanatory. You just make people be better humans, so to speak. So let's just say you think about your offer. And the biggest pitfall that I see here, and the reason why you really shouldn't be thinking about just VSLs as a whole thing, is that some people waste a lot of time and money into thinking that you just need to create a massive killer VSL, when in reality, you could do this strategy to just test the waters and see what works, to then create better content, better VSL, better attention mechanisms, etc. Let's just take the fitness, for example. Let's just say your offer is in fitness and health. And unfortunately, anytime it's with fitness, it's mostly almost always the same either. Lose fat, build muscle, hormones, etc., testosterone, all those things. I need you to understand that even though your offer is about fitness, you actually solve, in this scenario, in this example, I'm just going to say 4 different buckets. So let's just say in one of these buckets, you help people, have better habits. The other one is about lifting weights. The other one is about eating better. And then the other one is just about, let's just say, self-image. Rather than doing a big VSL, which is long, it's going to take expertise in creating the script and all those things, what I want you to do is just create content around those 4 buckets, because you can take your entire fitness offer and create different content buckets in different areas of even life and health. One angle you can take is, how being fitter can help you with your work or as an entrepreneur. Obviously, you're selling health. But in some other instances, like for example, I have another client that they do a lot of health stuff for moms. So how can you become a better mom by being healthy? You're a better mom, you're a better wife. So that helps you with relationships. And obviously self-improvement, just mentally, how becoming fitter is going to help you have a better mental health. All those things you can create different content in, but most importantly, you can also create different sales assets for all of these different things, which gives you opportunities to create more sales assets, get more leads, even create different landing pages if you want to get to that level. But just creating different content and different opportunities for people to find you, not only in just the big fitness space, but also into how can you help somebody with their habits? How can you help somebody with the diet, with lifting weights? And I forget what the other one was, but you get the gist. Now, taking this to another different level. Now you're not just a fitness business, you're a health-centric business that helps people with a bunch of different things. Let's just take this to the next level. Now you can create different opt-in pages, you can create different sales assets. So let's just take diet, for example, and let's break it down here. Now for diet, you can say things like losing fat, looking better in summer. If you are a new mom, if you're a dad and you want to look better, start with diet. So you create a simple sales asset with good copy on an opt-in page, or even just content that tells people to DM your keyword. We can do this so many different ways. Is creating an opt-in page that just tells people to get an asset once they opt in. This can also be a VSL, but before you get to the level of VSL, or just thinking that VSLs are the holy grail of building a business, you just create mini VSLs to test what works. Then the thank you page usually ties in with an ascension model. So usually people think ascension model is selling low ticket, then high ticket. Anything can be ascension. In this case, you give something up for free. The ascension is just booking a call with you. In this case, or you can just sell a low ticket product, maybe a recipe book, or I don't know, like a school group for like $10 a month, whatever it is. But the whole purpose of this is giving you more opportunities to create something that's a winner in the long term. Not just you thinking that you have to go all out, create one VSL. I had an old client that spent maybe 20, 30K into creating a VSL and it flopped. The reason being is that they didn't test enough things in the past to understand what was going to work, then go all in into that one thing. When in reality, they could just create 5 different sales assets in their buckets, see which one worked, and then go deeper in the one that got the better results. In this case, let's just say for diet, you create a simple opt-in page, get this thing that's going to give you this result in this amount of time without this objection. Give it out for free, make an asset page, which can be an VSL later. We'll talk about that later on. The thank you page is like, hey, here's your thing. And then the ascension could be get them on a call, because essentially you're giving one solution, 4 solutions that you have in your, in this case, fitness offer. In this case, you're giving diet, but hey, giving them one solution is going to breed another problem. So now they have the diet thing sorted out, but they don't have the lifting thing sorted out, and they don't have the mindset thing sorted out. So the next logical step for them is like, hey, now that you have this diet thing, you're probably wondering what to hit at the gym, or how to have the mindset of somebody that goes to the gym every single day and have the habits and have the whatever it is. So you sell the ascension, which is just getting on a call with you, or upsell them into low ticket, which could be like a $5 recipe book or whatever, which can then go into another thank you page, which is just booking a call. Then you have the calendar page if it's booking a call, or an upsell page, which could be whatever it is. And then essentially a success page. So if they book a call, you have a success page. Success page is like the last step of the way. You can either, when you have the calendar or the upsell, if you DQ them because they're not a good lead or they just don't buy, it's just the end of the sequence. But essentially, how you set up this, micro VSLs or micro sales assets, or just when I was in the agency world, we would call this test and learn. You just test different buckets that you're solving. And again, with fitness, it's this. With me, for example, I consult businesses on how to grow and how to scale. There's a bunch of different things, and you'll see this or the description below. I teach businesses how to generate attention, capitalize and liquidate that attention, and generate the systems they need and the operations around all of that to create a moat in business so they can scale. So those are the 3 buckets I would consider my offer make money. Obviously, I'm helping businesses make more money. In my make money offer, I have 3 different buckets that I help businesses in, so that whenever they improve that, they make money. In fitness, which is health, is success habits, lifting, diet. In relationship is communication, dating apps. It could be anything. But again, it's how do you create different sales assets before you create a big VSL, or even before you create content. Is how do you create better content with those different buckets, and then creating sales assets to get more people into your email list, and then upsell them to whatever that is that you want it to be. Whatever you create in this opt-in page, you have to have a sales argument. In the example above, I said it was dieting. So dieting, you have to have a sales argument. There's something they're doing bad that you're promoting that they can do better. Basically, just create a sales argument. And you don't always have to have an opt-in page. You can have content about this. So social media or email newsletters. You have different sales funnels, call funnel, etc. You can do cold and outbound. You can do different strategic sales assets for diet. So for diet, you can do different high protein recipes, keto recipes, low fat recipes, etc. All that basically just support your sales argument. That's diet. That's attached to the whole fitness offer that you have, or even webinars or live classes. Then after this, obviously you have to have some sort of lead nurturing process. So once somebody basically opts in, which is the thank you page, this is like a super zoomed out 30,000 foot view. In here, you want to have lead nurturing processes. So either direct response marketing via email or via landing pages or via DMs or via whatever. You have DM scripts, email index sequences, lead pipelines as well, so that you make sure and you understand in one step of the way all those leads are, so you can keep just tracking them and just sell them, or have setters dialing or whatever it is, however you are, you have your business set up. Then you do outbound or automation to make sure this is being taken care of and you're making sure that you're top of mind with all those leads. You either give me that direct offer, which could be a low ticket, or just booking a call, just basically just pitching them those things. Manual booking is usually you see this on DMs, just putting people inside your calendar, and then at the end of the day, do calls and purchases. But honestly, this is just a very small part of the entire ecosystem. But again, don't think about creating a VSL just because everyone's saying, I have to create a VSL. And don't just blindly start posting content until you understand that you can take your big offer and break that down into different buckets. Those buckets could be money, health, relationships, self-improvement, or it could just be whatever it is that you're giving people, that once people check those boxes, they're basically becoming successful with what it is that you're giving. Hopefully that makes sense. But all in all, you don't really have to do a VSL. If anything, test different things, see what works. And this is just a very small portion of generating that attention, and very, very small of liquidating that attention. But if you want to see the entire full process on how this looks inside of a business that I help take from $200K a month to $1 million a month, just click the video that's in this screen right now, because it's going to give you the entire training for free so that you can use it in your offer right now. For now, on the next one.